Hello everyone, welcome back to another WARNO deck deep dive, this time featuring the 11th Cavalry, the new division that just got added. And yeah, we're gonna go over all the lovely stuff in this deck and why I bring what I bring in it. And let's start in logistics, where you have a good amount of choices, but obviously you have a terrible amount of slots. So you need to get big banks out there, and that's why I go in there with the CH-47 supply helicopter. The Chinook's here really important in my eyes. Giving you 3000 supply. Together with the Unimog, you just get about enough supplies to really refill your tanks. Maybe use some M109s. So here, really key. And then 3 Iltislas to get some CVs, because you just can't afford them in the infantry tab. And the rest comes in the tank tab, obviously. So you have to take a CV tab card here. And then you get the 3 here, so that's why I take them. You could go for either of these as well in my loadout, as I bring M1A1 CPs as well. By the way, as always, you can find a deck list with all my decks, all my deck deep dive decks down below, if you're interested in using them yourself. And yeah, here we go. Infantry is the next step. A Marder 1A3 here with Panzer Grenadiers inside. That is your only IV in the infantry tab, so you really need it. Marder is a good IV. Panzer Grenadiers, sadly, not the greatest of infantries, but the Marder IV is pretty key, and I use the one with the Milan, because I believe the Milan here can be quite helpful as well. So you have some IFVs to protect your tanks, help out, and do these armored pushes. And yeah, the Panzer Grenadiers inside, quite helpful as well. But hopefully, eventually, they might go up to 6 men. 5 men, they are a bit weak. And yeah, then the special unit of this deck, dismounted troopers, super important because they have the AT4. The AT4 here with 17 damage is your best anti-tank weapon in the deck for infantry, so you really need it. And the security trait really makes these guys also amazing at protecting flanks together with the 3 MGs. Like, these guys hold flanks really well, and that's how you want to use it. Like, on paper you might want to use them as assault units as well, but 6 hit points make them really hard to use there. So I'd rather use them on my flank for the protection. And then I push with my engineers, either with Engineer Flash or with the normal ones. Both pretty nice with the shock here as well. And the flashes, especially currently with Flash and TNT also doing extra damage due to the shock trait. Once that changes, they still might be quite solid. So yeah, using both of these. Mech Rifle Laws might be an idea next to the Engineer Flash if you really just want to have your infantry be beefy. But I like it more when they can tank some stuff, deal some damage as well. And then Engineered Dragons, they also have the Engineered trait, which makes them quite nice at the moment. And the Dragon is a nice zoning tool here as well, to have some sort of ATGM. Using a real ATGM like the Milan 2 is just not really feasible if you have this little infantry use, so you need to have some normal firepower next to it. So yeah, they are a nice trade-off. They can still deal with 1 armor vehicles, and outside of that they do their damage a bit as well. Against enemy vehicles with side shots, they can do quite a bit of damage. So yeah, Engineered Dragon, it is here as the support. Artillery, 1 card of M109s if I need some artillery to deal with some ATGM positions or so. And then some Panzermörsers for the smoke screens, for the just annoyance of mortar. Both work quite nice. It's the Panzermörser because they're slightly bigger here and have slightly more HE damage than the 109s. Yes, they don't have a 50 cal, but you usually don't want to get them in 50 cal range anyways. And then tanks. You have obviously a lot of M1A1s. I go with a number of 16 of them. Yeah, 4. Here 8 with 1 veterancy. You maybe could even go with 3 cards of 3 veterancy and then only 1 card of veterancy, and then the CVs here too. But then the CVs work even the CVs work well with these guys anyways. I wish there would be an extra level of veterancy that you only can unlock with CVs or hills, but sadly we don't have that at the moment, not like Steel Division. Hopefully that is coming eventually. Yeah, statistics here, pretty helpful when you wet them up, especially the stress recovery, really key. That's why we wet them up here on the tanks. And you need to have these M1A1s being effective, and you still get so many of them that you can't really afford them in a 1v1 game anyways all. So yeah, you to go with this in my eyes to make them more worthwhile. I mean, yes, you can spam 40 of them, but that's not something you can afford in a 1v1 anyways. Jaguar, so that you have some more ATGMs. The Toe 2 here really key. With the IFVs, I don't feel like you need the CAF. I'm not, in general not the biggest fan of the CAF at the moment, but the Jaguar can be quite nice to have the 2625 meter range tow that has mediocre stealth is quite helpful sometimes. You have some more of those with the Bradley in the recon tab here, so that is pretty helpful as well. We take them on Retro C for the bit of extra accuracy, and because you can't afford 12 of them anyways. So yeah, the extra accuracy, the extra stress recovery here helps out as well. And then M1 ACAF, M1A1 ACAF here has a nice opener and also a nice unit to have within your tank formation. Like often tank formation of mine looks 2 M1A1s, 1 M1A1 CP and the ACAF, and then maybe 1 or 2 Bradleys or 1 or 2 Martyrs or so next to it. And that's then the hammer that tries to hit the anvil, smash the enemy. And then we have some LRS and some BGS here, because we need more infantry, and both of these are quite capable. With the security trait, the BGS is insanely good at spotting for 40-point units, and the LRS obviously also has the sniper rifle, has the GSR trait, which gives them more stealth, special forces, and shock. So these guys do a lot of damage at the moment as well. No AT on them is a bit frustrating. Like all your recon infantry doesn't have AT, which is quite frustrating, but outside of that, the recon tab is really strong, and you have AT obviously on these guys, so it's not super necessary. AA, you obviously need the Eyehawk, and then Stingers and Pivots. You could consider Fleet of House and stuff Stingers, but I like reliability, so the extra accuracy here is big for me, and the 5 damage obviously is also quite helpful. And yeah, the Eyehawk's really key for the long range. You always want to have one of those early out, and Pivot, nice to stun helicopters, nice to deal with slow flying planes. They kill them quite nicely, so Pivot here nicely as well. Helicopter, we have the normal Cobras here, just to deal with rockets and be good against soft targets. And then we have the Sea Knight, the 10 ECM is nice, and the Toe 2 is a beast of an ATGM. So having them in the skies here is nice as well, just to deal with any NEV, medium and light vehicle. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this thing. Plus, it is obviously absolutely gorgeous, so that is a big plus as well. But it's also a lot of fun to play with. The AH-1F Sea Knight is a really, really good and cool Cobra. And then air tab, we have 4 of the potential 6 F-16s. We have an F-16C seed, so that we can get Thunderbolt through, and those are the other options here. 1AT version and the rocket version. The rocket version obviously to deal with light targets. The gun still can deal with light armor and deal with infantry and stuff, and then the AT here to deal with some enemy tanks, help out the M1A1s push through, and the seed to help them through getting there. Whilst the F-16s with their Sparrows still have good fighting capabilities on the long range. Yeah, still hoping for some AR changes. Yeah, but as the F-16 is still not as good as it should be in my eyes, but it's still a solid fighter. Like the 30 ECM is nice, the missiles are good. It's just that they're a bit slow and a bit clunky in disguise, more so than they should be maybe, but still enjoying them. And yeah, a really strong deck. You need to be somewhat aggressive. It's like people compared it a lot to 3rd US, but with 3rd US not having LRS, and this deck now having LRS, but like not having the late game, not having the artillery, not having the A1HA, you really are the pressure version of it. You really have to constantly keep up the pressure on the enemy. But you can do that. You have the Martyrs, which are nice and cost efficient. You have the dismounted troopers, which can hold the line outside of it, whilst you can push through with the M1A1s with the recon tab here, with some somewhat cheaper attack helicopters that still have an absolute heavy punch. Like, that's the cool thing about the Sea Knight. And then an air tab that can support all of this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rank with it. I hope you do as well. And yeah, I hope to see you in that one. And if you enjoyed the channel, consider leaving a like and a comment down below. It really helps out the channel a lot. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye, and have a great day.